Hi everyone, I'm Kat.
And I'm Yorgos, and this is Realistic DIYers.
Join us for the review of a mouse sander, the Bosch PSM 18Li.
So before we start, we want to let you know that we are not being paid for this, so this is an honest review. We have bought this ourselves, and it has helped us a lot. So this is an honest review of how this sander works.
So handy for the smaller jobs, as you may know, as you might not know. So if you wanted to do more detail work on beveled edges or on panelling, this will be your tool.
So, well, it's pretty much as the other sanders. The difference is, I'll go straight to what you can take as a positive from it. It's like, well, first of all, it's a Bosch, so it comes with the warranty of the name Bosch that they are making tools that are better quality than other DIY tools. So let's discuss about some of the features. Well, of course, on off, you have a battery indicator here. Speaking of the batteries, it takes 1.3, 1.5, 2 and 2.5 amps batteries pretty easily, yeah? But then when it comes to bigger ones, like the 3 amps, 4 amps that are more chunky, this is a 3 amp, 4 amp, 6 amp, they don't fit. And even if you decide. So the only way to take the 3 amps is to remove the microfilter. Now speaking of the microfilter, if it's 3 amps it's difficult. So speaking of the microfilter is quite handy. It keeps most of the dust, but it doesn't keep everything. So always put your masks on whilst you use it. Second thing, this is not so great, is how you detach it. So the only way that I could figure out how to work it out is this way. It's not the best way, I know, but well, it works for me. Over to Kat.
As I mentioned, these are for the finer details or more intricate areas. Now, of course, you might just be using that sort of nozzle nose, which means none of that is getting used. What a brilliant feature is, you just take the clip off and a little bit of a wiggle, she says, and you just switch that point to make a fresh new one. Switch that point. I mean, it doesn't have to be the point, it can be, click it back in, it can be the edge that you're using as well. If you're doing a sort of a beveled table, you would just be constantly using one edge. So that's a fantastic feature. You don't have to throw away a whole sheet.
Another thing I wanted to mention here is that with this one, Bosch also gives you, it's an extra, you can get a different attachment that is quite thin and long, picture somewhere here. Well, you can go into weird spaces like between the rails of a...
2 panels or, yeah.
Yeah, or if you want to stand in between some chair
yes,
parts.
I was going to say the back of a chair sometimes.
Yeah. So, how about we test it?
What have we got to test it on?
Well, what do we have?
The coffee table we've wanted to do for ages. It's been on our to-do list.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Sanding, let's go. Oh, let's go.
So here we are. Realistic DIYing really depends on what you're doing, where you're doing it, and how you're doing it. We have prepared for you 4 different ways to sort out a coffee table top. You will find the link to this video in the description below. But for now, let's start with the mouse sander and see how this rolls. Today we're starting with the section that uses the mouse sander. Here's it in action. Is there anyone who finds sanding meditative? Or do we all get bored like Joris? He's just taking some time to sort out some timbers that have fallen from a recent storm. So sanding does take some time, and you can see here the state that the coffee table was in before, why we needed to spend some time on it. So removing stains and removing scratches. And it's always time to repair. There's always a coffee table to repair. You might have noticed that we haven't actually attached the vacuum that is right behind me, and you'll see the consequences of that. And you'll see the consequences of that now. But we will still use a vacuum. So if you don't have outdoor space, not everybody has outdoor space, the vacuum is a real saver. Brilliant blowing function. It doesn't matter if it's extraction or blowing, cleaning, or directing debris away from the area that you wish.
So all in all, it's a great sander. It works perfectly for us for weird edges, and just don't try to go into very big surfaces with this sander. Either use this one or use a belt sander that is going to give you much better results. This is for smaller surfaces.
You'll find the link to the other style of sander, which is the orbital sander, in the description below.
So if you have enjoyed our video,
Like,
subscribing,
and bell all.
because you need to get notifications on all our new videos.
See you on the next one.
Have a wonderful day.